trees. My passion for trees started when I was at the campus at JK Watt. I remember on a field trip to Mount Kenya. That's the second tallest mountain in Africa, in the Mount Kenya forest. I remember my lecturer, Dr. Njenga, taking pictures with the trees. That's when it dawned on me how important and how serious I should be to my career. Plants produce oxygen. They split water, they release oxygen. Later on, they make primary metabolites by mixing hydrogen that is left, combining it with carbon dioxide to produce carbohydrates, that is glucose. That's what we call primary metabolites. It is important for the plants. Then the plants mix nitrogen and hydrogen to produce proteins. They take the nitrates from the soil. The proteins are there for the survival of the plant. The proteins are used when the seed germinates because they are stored in the seed. The carbohydrates that come from hydrogen and the CO2 is used by the plant for energy. Another primary metabolite is lipids. Now that's a complex metabolite that the plants produce. The lipids, like fatty acids, are used as a source of energy when the seed is germinating. All these things are important to the plant. But why do plants then produce medicine? Chemicals that we use from plants as medicine are actually secondary metabolites. They are produced by plants. Now the plants use the primary metabolites, combine them together, and produce a more complex product, like the chemicals that are in the plants, alkaloids that we use for treatment, and so on. Why do plants need to produce these secondary metabolites? Why? The plants have enemies too. The plants have viruses, they have bacteria, they have fungal infection that attack them. Like on this plant here, this yellow part that you are seeing there is a fungal infection. If the fungal infection is allowed or let into the plant, into the xylem or the phloem, the plant will die. So the plant has to produce a chemical that will protect it. We all take advantage when we use carbohydrates and the proteins to eat as food. We are using the products of the plant, but then we go back again and start using the more complex compounds that have been produced by the plant, the secondary metabolites. Those are the alkaloids, the sesquiterpenes, the chemicals that come from the plant. So the plants produce the chemicals to protect themselves against diseases, against the viruses, the bacteria, and so on. So we human beings, we take advantage and use those secondary metabolites to treat ourselves. Fortunately, the secondary metabolites produced by the plant, like the alkaloids, also can kill the viruses that attack us. They can kill the bacteria that can attack us. They can kill the fungal infections that attack us. So we have taken advantage of the products of the plant. From the very beginning, the oxygen we are taking it in, we take the primary metabolites. Those are the carbohydrates, proteins, and now we have gone to the more complex products of the plant, the chemicals that are now called the secondary metabolites to treat ourselves. Secondary metabolites are always stored in leaves, roots, barks, some seeds and flowers of plants. Here, leaves of Vernonia amygdalina are being harvested. These are also called bitter leaves. They are powerful antioxidants. Then someone will again ask, how come then do we claim to treat tumors and cancers? Do plants have cancers and tumors? They do have cancers. Cancer is all about change in the DNA to a point when a cell cannot control multiplication, so it multiplies without control. That's what we call cancer or a tumor. So the plants need to produce secondary metabolites that will protect them from cancerous or tumorous tissue. For example, vinblastine is a chemical compound that plants produce to protect themselves against tumorous occurrence.